In this lesson, you're going to learn how to create your blog and start creating blog posts. So the first thing we need to do is create a page that we can have in our main navigation for people to access our blog. So we want to go to Pages, we'll click Add New, and then we're just going to title this blog. There's just one more change we need to make here, and that's to change the page template. We're going to go with blog page. All WordPress themes should have something similar. It may not be labeled as blog page, it may just be blog, but there's going to be something similar to this that allows you to create a page that is essentially a list of all your blog posts, and that's exactly what blog page is here. So let's click Publish to create that page. Next, we want to go to Appearance and Menus, and we need to add our blog page to our main navigation. So we're going to go ahead and click Blog, click Add to Menu. Should show up down at the bottom, and I'm going to just move this up to right above Contact Us. You can put your blog page anywhere you want to in the main navigation. I just usually like to have Contact Us as the last navigation item on the right. I'll click Save Menu. Now we are going to start creating some blog posts. So if we go to Posts, we'll see that after you've installed WordPress, you'll have a Hello World blog post. And the Hello World blog post is going to look like this. And we actually use this post to show you how to embed videos, which is coming up. So we have a video in here. And the text in here is just by default. So when you look at this for the first time on your website, you'll just have a little bit of text starting with Welcome to WordPress. So there's two things you can do here. You can simply trash this and start over, or you can edit it and change the name of this post and start writing your first blog post. For our purposes here, we're going to leave this as is, and we're going to create a new blog post. And I'll just say post number 2. Now let's take a look at the settings, and on the right side you'll notice that there is no more option to choose between the page types. All blog posts that you create under the post menu are going to be automatic blog posts, and they're going to be labeled under the blog item in your main navigation. However, with blog posts you have a couple of new options here. One of them is categories. So you're going to default to one category, which is uncategorized. If you just want to write blog posts and you don't want to categorize them, or perhaps you want to go back and categorize them later, that's just fine. But if we want to add a new category, all you do is click the link there, and we'll call this one, let's just say programming. We'll add a new category, and you'll see that when we add a new category, it automatically gets checked here. So we can uncheck uncategorized, and now this is going to be in the programming category. Let's create one more. Call it app development. Now we've got 2 of them here, and I'm going to use app development for our next blog post, so I'm just going to uncheck that here. Usually what I like to do is think of all the categories that I know I'm going to use up front and just create them here the first time I create a blog post, and then they'll all be ready for me every time I create my next set of blog posts. You can also change the parent category, so whatever is kind of your default. So if you write mostly about programming and not app development, we can choose programming as our parent category. And when you create a new blog post, it'll default to programming, and then if it's not that, you can go ahead and change it. Next, we can create tags. Tags are going to be keywords and key phrases used to describe the content of your blog posts. So in this case, again, I could use app development, programming, I could use web development, Java, Python programming, whatever you think you want to use. And some people do choose to use these tags as a visual representation of what their content is about. And you can do that by, for example, adding a widget on your sidebar that shows the most used tags. So then people can click on those tags on the sidebar, and they'll be presented with a list of all the posts that relate to that particular tag that they just clicked on. All right, so that's it for this. Click Publish, and I'm going to create one more. We'll call it New Post. And we want this to be in app development. We'll publish that. And now what we're going to do is come take a look at our blog page and see what it looks like in the end. So if we click on blog, all right, so we've got our blog posts here, and people can come in and click on these and check out all of your blog posts. And two things to note here. One of them is obviously you want to take a look again at your widgets here and see which ones you want to have. And after you start creating blog posts, you may decide what types of things you want to have, like categories, recent posts, things like that. And lastly, the post hierarchy goes by date. So the oldest blog post is going to be at the bottom. Newer blog posts are going to show up nearer to the top. So your latest blog post will be at the top. And that makes sense. That's the way most bloggers want to do their blog posts. There are a couple things that you may want to do. And one is to reorganize your posts by date. The other one is to make a sticky post. So for example, if post number 2 is by far our most read blog post, and we simply want that to be the first blog post that everybody sees regardless of how many blog posts have been posted since then, you want to make a sticky post. So we want post number 2 to show up at the top. And how you do that is by going to posts, and then we'll just do a quick edit. And right here, you can say, make this post sticky. So we'll update this, and now what you're going to see when I refresh this page is that post number 2 is going to be at the top. And our next new post is going to push the new post down, but post number 2 is going to stay at the top. And let's just make that unsticky. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and change the dates. So you can organize your blog posts by changing their publish date. So if I do a quick edit here, I can change the date. So today is December 17th. So I would change this to December 17th, 2014. And then you can change the time as well. If you have posts that were created on the same day, you're going to want to watch out for the exact time. Let's check out new post. So the time here is 15:48 on the 17th. So if I change this, 2042 is after that time. So let's go ahead and click on December 17 and update this. And what you should see is that Hello World should come to the top. Oh, that's interesting. So the time that Hello World has been set to is actually in the future. So WordPress sees that as not yet published. And I won't play around with the time to get that right here, but I think you get the idea. When you hit the time that we set on Hello World right here in the quick edit, that will now show up on top as the newest blog post.